Hello everyone. Most of you who came to this video probably know that Rhaegar did not kidnap Lyanna, that they were in love and ran away, which caused a war to erupt and put an end to the Targaryen dynasty. What if I told you that it was actually not even that simple? What if I told you that Rhaegar knew exactly what he was doing? What if he planned the whole thing? For anyone who watched my previous Game of Thrones video, near the end of the video you could see that I had a problem with the whole kids falling in love, just saying screw everyone and running away thing. This was the aspect of the R plus L equals J theory that always bothered me. It didn't make sense sacrificing everything, putting everyone they care about in danger, just for a few hours or even days spent together. Then, while reading The World of Ice and Fire from my previous video, I stumbled onto an interesting paragraph. As you can see here, it suggested that Rhaegar planned the tournament at Harrenhal himself. And why? Well, the reason is to stop his father and get support from the other lords to replace his father as king. But because of Varys and his little birds, the king also came to the tournament, and Rhaegar might have felt that with Varys there, he couldn't make a move on his dad without him finding out. I'd like to point out at this point that the Red Keep was already divided into two camps, Rhaegar's camp and his father did not trust his son. He was already super paranoid, and with his son he had good reason. Then, what if he kidnapped, in quotes, Lyanna on purpose, knowing that it would start the war? What if he thought, or knew, that this was the best and the only way to replace the king of the Seven Kingdoms? Seem too far-fetched? Let's examine Rhaegar for a second. No one ever said anything bad about the guy, other than Robert Baratheon, who's not really objective. Ned never said anything bad about him. Selmy only has good things to say about him.
But there was hope. His son and heir. Prince Rhaegar was everything a kingdom could hope for in a ruler. He was strong but gentle, wise and cautious, and a good friend.
And he even said that Rhaegar would have been a better king than anyone. Even Cersei says that out of anyone, Rhaegar was cheered for the most by the people. From a very young age, he was a bookworm. He didn't care for fighting and becoming a knight, but one day he read something, and he decided from that point on to learn how to hold a sword and fight. But what did he read? He read the prophecy of the prince that was promised, and he thought that it was him. Is it unreasonable to believe that at this point he also learned about and had a connection to the Lord of the Light? So why do I think this? Well, first, he was born on the day of the tragedy at Summerhall, when the castle he was in burned for unknown reasons, and although he was just a baby at the time, the event affected him greatly. He kept returning to the ruins of the castle because he had a connection to it. Tragedy and fire is often related to the Lord of the Light. He then thought his son Aegon was the prince that was promised. He cared greatly about the future and making an impact on it. So who's to say that the Lord of the Light did not help him foresee that future? When he was in the tournament in Harrenhal, the colors he wore matched the colors of the Lord of the Light, not the colors of the Targaryens. And he won the tournament against Barristan Selmy and Arthur Dayne with ease. Now I'm not saying he couldn't beat them, but perhaps not as easily as it seemed in the tournament. So perhaps he used the power of the Lord of the Light to help him in those battles. And then what about Lyanna? Does it make sense that a badass like Lyanna, a protector of the weak, would just run away with someone she barely knows and cause a war? If we all agree that he didn't actually kidnap her, running away for love just doesn't make sense. Unless he told her the stakes. Maybe he showed her through the fire what would happen if she doesn't run away with him. Or maybe he showed her Jon's future and his destiny. I know this is a lot, so let's look at it again. Rhaegar Targaryen was an educated man, a good man, a man that cared about the future and his place in it. He saw the danger that his father posed to the Seven Kingdoms. He tried to remove his father from the inside, but he saw that he couldn't do it, at least not without ripping the Seven Kingdoms apart. So, from his learning, he decided to ask for help from the Lord of the Light. That showed him the tournament. So without his father's knowledge, he financed the tournament himself. He thought he would try to get the other lords to help him, but with the spider on his back, he knew it wasn't an option. He then met this beautiful woman, Lyanna, and they fell in love. He knew he was supposed to win the tournament, and that she was somehow important. He decided to make her the queen of love and beauty. He then returned home. Maybe he found a way to stay in touch with Lyanna. Then, later, the Lord of the Light showed him that he was supposed to have a child, and that child would be the prince that was promised. Was it Aegon? No, it was a different child. But his wife couldn't have any more children. It had to be from a different woman. It had to be with Lyanna. He saw then what he had to do for his future and for the future of the kingdom. He had to sacrifice himself and his own good name. He had to sacrifice everything important to him. but he had to. He then arranged a meeting with Lyanna, told her everything. He may have even showed her in the flames the future. She already loved him, and seeing what their future son was capable of and how he was important, she agreed. And the rest is history. I really hope you guys enjoyed this theory. I'm sort of proud of myself on this one because I think it's new. It's probably wrong, but that's part of the fun of Game of Thrones for me. If you guys like this sort of content, please subscribe, and otherwise, have a great day.